Welcome back to 4K Rare Coins, where every coin tells a story, and every cent, nickel, or quarter could be a small fortune. Today, we're celebrating one of the most iconic coins in American history, the 1776 to 1976 Bicentennial Quarter. You've seen it 1,000 times, George Washington on the front, the Revolutionary War drummer boy on the back, and that special dual date, 1776 to 1976. But what if I told you that some of these quarters, especially the 1976D from the Denver Mint, can be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars today? That's right, what most people see as pocket change could actually be a hidden treasure. So grab your magnifier, and let's take a deep dive into the story, history, and secret value of the Bicentennial Quarter dollar. The year 1976 marked the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, the birth of the United States. To celebrate this monumental event, the U.S. Mint decided to do something special. Instead of the usual coin designs, they issued commemorative reverses on 3 denominations, the quarter, half dollar, and dollar coin. Each of these coins carried the dual date, 1776 to 1976, honoring 2 centuries of American freedom. For the quarter, the Mint held a national design competition. The winning design came from Jack Lahr, a sculptor from Arlington Heights, Illinois. His design featured a colonial drummer, a victory torch encircled by 13 stars representing the original colonies, and a bold, proud spirit that captured the American Revolution perfectly. The obverse, the front, kept the familiar bust of George Washington, originally sculpted by John Flanagan, but with the new dual date added below. The bicentennial quarters were struck at all 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The D mint mark denotes those struck in Denver, and the 1976 issue was by far the most widely circulated, with over 860 million produced. At first glance, that sounds like a lot, and it is. But collectors know that within those hundreds of millions are rare gifts of proof-like strikes, silver-clad varieties, and mint errors that can transform an ordinary quarter into a highly prized collectible. Let's take a closer look. There are actually 2 main types of bicentennial quarters. Copper-nickel-clad quarters. These were the regular business strike coins, made for circulation. They're composed of copper sandwiched between layers of nickel, and they're what most people have in their change jars. 40% silver quarters. These were special collector issues, struck at the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S and sold in proof and uncirculated sets. These coins contain real silver and are far more valuable. However, there are rumors and a few unconfirmed reports of Denver-minted silver-clad plankets accidentally being used for circulation strikes. If a true 1976D silver quarter were authenticated, it could be worth thousands of dollars. So if you find a 1976D that sounds different when dropped, or weighs slightly more, it's time to get that coin tested. A normal copper-nickel quarter weighs 5.67 grams and has a distinctive copper edge. You can see that orange rim where the inner copper layer shows through. A 40% silver quarter, however, weighs 5.75 grams and has a solid silver-gray edge with no visible copper. So, the first thing you should do is check the edge. If your 1976D doesn't show copper, it's worth investigating. There are also known error coins from the 1976D issue that include off-center strikes, clipped plankets, double die obverses, and reverses. Wrong planchette strikes, for example, a quarter struck on a 10-cent or 1-cent blank. Depending on severity, and I appeal, these errors can bring anywhere from $100 to over $3,000 at auction. Like all coins, condition plays a crucial role in determining value. A typical circulated 1976D bicentennial quarter is still worth 25 cents, maybe 50 cents to $1 if it's in great shape. But once you step into mint state territory, things change fast. Coins graded MS65 gem uncirculated often sell for $10-25. At MS67, that jumps to $200 for $100, and if you find a flawless MS68 or higher, you're looking at $1,000 or more. In fact, one spectacular 1976D bicentennial quarter graded MS68 by PCGS sold for over $3,000 at auction. The difference between a $1 coin and a $3,000 coin often comes down to tiny details, sharp strike, perfect luster and absence of contact marks. Beyond its value, the Bicentennial Quarter holds a special place in American hearts. It was more than just pocket change, it was a patriotic celebration. Kids collected them, adults saved them in jars. The drummer boy design became instantly recognizable, symbolizing both nostalgia and national pride. Even today, nearly 50 years later, you can still find them in circulation, a lasting reminder of the 200th anniversary of America's freedom. And for collectors, they're a gateway coin, the one that first sparks curiosity about mint marks, varieties, and the thrill of finding something rare in your change. So, what's the real market for 1976 Bicentennial Quarters today? Circulated, $25 to $1. Mint State MS65, $10, $25. High grade MS67 Plus, $300, $3,000. Major errors, $500, $5,000 plus. Potential silver wrong planchette, $5,000, $10,000, if verified. In short, most are worth face value, but the right example can bring serious money. Collectors also love original mint sets that include pristine 1976 quarters. These can still be found sealed and are great starter investments for new numismatists. If you've got one sitting around, here's a simple checklist. Look at the edge. Is it copper-colored or solid silver? Check the mint mark. The D should be clearly visible to the right of Washington's ribbon. Examine the surfaces. Are they scratched and worn, or sharp and shiny? Weigh the coin. Use a digital scale accurate to 0.01 grams. Look for errors. Off-center strikes, doubled letters, or unusual textures could all add value. Submit for grading if you suspect you have something special. PCGS, NGC, or Annex can authenticate and encapsulate your coin. The 1776 to 1976 Bicentennial Quarter is more than metal, it's a piece of American celebration. It marked a turning point in U.S. coinage, the first time since the early 20th century that a circulating coin design was changed for a national event. Today, collectors cherish these quarters not just for their potential value, but for their symbolism, courage, independence, and the spirit of freedom that still echoes across the centuries. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual hobbyist, the 1976 Bicentennial Quarter is a reminder that history isn't just in museums, it's in your pocket change.